Hello, my loves. Right, first of all, please ignore this tragedy. Basically, I used an adhesive on my nails that was really out of date, and it didn't work to hold my crystals on, and it still caused an allergic reaction in my nose. So I've been ravaged, savagely attacked by the kitten who thought I was a scratching post. Right, so I've prepped my nails and applied a peel off base coat, and I'm going to use the new TX Elite Coffin tips. They're in bags of 600. They are available on my website for £9.80. And I'm going to be using Nailmate's Acrylic Powder in Clear, Blizzard White and Toasted Rose. So I've just applied the tips, and I used adhesive, and I used the same blimmin' bottle because I was like, well, I don't really care because I'm going to pull them off because they've got a peel off base coat. Look how beautiful they are. They're so gorgeous. So I clipped the tips down because I wanted them short length, just, salon style design. You could probably get 2 uses out of those tips, actually. That was Mandy that pointed that out to me. Anyway, on this one, wait for it. This shows you how rubbish that adhesive is. Boing. Look, it's just, the tip has just fallen off basically, so I had to reapply it, which I just found highly amusing. But yes, so old adhesive, if your tips aren't sticking, if your crystals aren't sticking, chuck your adhesive and get a new one. It's so easy. They have a shelf life. I'm using the brand new Alina acrylic wand, and this time I'm using a size 10. So I've used the 8. It was a bit small for me, so I'm using the 10 now. Look how beautiful that is. Now, you need to look on the website about how to prep this brush and how to protect the handle, because obviously the handle has a very fine iridescent sheen on it, and you need to protect that. If you ruin it, then it's not going to be shiny. So I'm going to apply a clear base coat on all these nails. Nice and simple. And that's just because I've got the peel off base coat underneath. So I don't want to file into it when I'm doing smile lines and things. So I just get a clear layer on first and leave it at that. Nice and easy, tucking it in. You don't need it to be too thick or too wet. If it's too wet, it won't hold any better anyway. And then once they're all done with that, on the thumb I'm going to do like a baby boomer ombre nail using Blizzard White and Toasted Rose. Now, Blizzard White is a white, so some people use a slightly off-white for their baby boomers, or even something with a glitter in it, because it can be quite intense if you're using a pure white. And it can also make the blending a little bit trickier. And whites, don't worry if you use a pure white acrylic and it's sticky. It's just the pigment. It's very common. It's not you. It's not the company. It's just the way it is. So please don't stress about things like that. Just make sure you keep your brush really clean, otherwise you ruin it. Okay, so that's the white on. Because it's so pigmented, you really don't need a lot at all. We'll move on to the next nail. So next I'm going to do, what I think now, the middle finger. Had to think. I was like, what finger am I going to do? I don't know. What am I doing? Oh, excuse the 210 on my hand. I was writing down an appointment time and I forgot to scrub it off before I filmed. I'm in a rush. I've got a new kitten. It's school holidays. I'm still hand feeding a butterfly. It's just, yeah, lots of sleepless nights at the moment. Okay, so patting and tapping that acrylic down. Blending it to the tip, nice and easy. There we go. Very simple. I'm just making sure it's nice and smooth. Then I'm going to grab my smaller brush, which is the size 8. And look at this sparkly handle. I'm obsessed. And I'm going to do a little marble on this nail. And to be fair, I actually wish I'd used my size 10 for the marble, because I found that I wasn't getting enough liquid with the size 8. And because it was 24 degrees, the beads were setting up too quick because silly arse over here didn't put her monomer in cool water. So ideally I probably should have used a bigger brush and just let the beads roll into each other and do it that way. But I'm not going to cut it out and pretend that everything was hunky-dory, because that's not true. It was quite stressful because it was setting up too quick, and obviously where I had a smaller brush there was less liquid in my brush, so I wasn't able to fix that problem. So yeah, lesson learned there. But you know, I still did the nail and it still looks nice. It just didn't go the way I wanted it. So, onto the index finger, and we're going to do a little Frenchie. These were inspired by one of my ambassadors, Naomi. She is so talented, and she did these beautiful French nails the other day, and I just saw the pink and white and I was obsessed. I was just like, oh, I miss them. I miss them so much. So I had to do them. So I've put the first bead down, blended the back of the bead out so we don't have a step or a lip near the cuticle. Pull that bead down the nail, and then just use my brush to bring it into that lovely soft almond shape for the smile line. I'm making this quite a deep smile line. Obviously, you know, it's personal preference. I love a deep smile line. I can't stand the way it looks on me if I have like the 90s smile line, you know, like the white tips. I don't like it. So I like a nice deep smile line, but you know, they're a bit more tricky to do. That's setting up proper fast again. We're going to do the same on the pinky finger. Just tuck that bead in and then start forming the very, very tip of the smile line, building up that wall. You can imagine how tiny my nails are. Well, the tips I use on my pinky are a size 11 with these tips. And this is only a small 10. I think my brushes come up quite small. Not quite small, a bit small. Because I've got size 10 in another brand, and my size 10 is definitely smaller, but that's probably a blessing because I have the most tiniest nail beds in the world, and I don't want a big fat brush, you know. I don't want to be slapping one of them everywhere. I'm already clumsy as it is, so just tucking that in to make that diddy little smile line. Don't worry if it's like too high. The time you need to worry is if it's too low and then you file it and it's too thin. Don't worry if it's too high, you file it down anyway. Right, so I need to finish off the ombres. I forgot to film the thumb, I'm really sorry. But this is the middle finger. So I've applied Toasted Rose and I'm blending that bead down into Blizzard White. Obviously you wait for the first colour to completely set before you add anything else. And if you struggle with ombre, I do have a course on that. Ding! I just remembered I've got a course that's held in a private Facebook group, and it's available on my website. So if you go onto my website, look at courses, the link will be in the description box. And it's really good value for money as well. And that teaches you glitter ombre, colour ombres, you know, difficult ombres, not just the easy ones. So we're getting that blend going a bit now. I'm going to get that cuticle bead on as well in a minute. And then it's just a case of making sure the blend is the way you like it. So like if I see a little bit like this, I'll place a bead on, blend it back first because you need it to melt into the first bead you had down. And then just feather it out. It's all good. Don't panic. You're not always going to get the blend exactly the way you want it first time. Then we'll pop that cuticle bead on, pop him on, tip that brush up and use the tip to tuck around the cuticle, and then middle to move that product down the nail. Really, really easy. There we go. Beautiful. Right, we need to let that set up and then I'll encapsulate the blend area. Meanwhile, oh no, I'm encapsulating the blend area now. Duh. I'm so silly. Blend that bead back first. We don't need to apply loads of product at the cuticle because that's already been done and my apex is in place. So I just need to cap that blend and make sure that the nail is the right thickness towards the tip, not too thick, not too thin, and nice and even throughout. There we go. Just walk the rest of that excess and then take that off because we don't need it. Off it comes. Right, so I've just filed in my smile lines. Oh, I've used my Ollie brush. That's Gerald's mate, Ollie. They're available on the website as well. They're so soft. Okay, now obviously marble nails are lumpy bumpy. It's the nature of them, especially if they set too fast. So I've applied a bit of monomer to the nail first before I cap with clear because I just don't want any little air bubbles. I want the product to flow nicely. So I'm tucking it in with the tip of my brush all the way around, and then we're going to start working that bead down the nail, letting it go into all those little nooks and crannies. We don't want air bubbles. And then we'll use the middle of the brush to really tap it into place. And then if more product's needed, you just add more product and just keep working on it until it's nice and encapsulated and you feel that the nail is secure and even. It's not a problem if you need another bead. Right, smile line. I've just wiped over that with a bit of monomer. I'm going to pop that white on. And because these are both core powders, they're strength powders, you do not need to encapsulate. So you can just build it up. I did put a little bit of clear on the tip, I believe, because it was just a bit too thin. The white's very pigmented, so it's easy to actually not put enough product. Remember what I said, white can be sticky, don't worry about it. It's not a problem. You just got to use it a little bit more like a paint. There we go. And we're going to walk it kind of up into those wings. Like I said, it's a really deep smile line. So, you know, if you need to go in with little beads and just place them and then blend them back, that's absolutely fine. And just keep doing that both sides. There we go. And then we obviously need to let that dry. We'll do the same on the pinky.
Where to go, you're left without warning, and now you're ignoring Just send me an SOS. I'll run to you faster than lightning. Give me some time to breathe. Give me some time to speak. Cause I know the truth inside. And I promise you.
Okie dokie do. Right, we're all filed. Just get the last bits of dust off. And then we're going to bling up these bad boys. Because it don't mean a thing if you ain't got that bling, baby. Oh, so soft. That's one thing I do like about these brushes, is getting under the nail. They're nice and soft and not sort of scratchy. Okay, so the crystals I'm using are the AB SS3 Alina Crystals from my website, and also the AB Mix Pack Alina Crystals from my website. The reason I've got the SS3 separate is because it's really just, I hate digging through mixes, I'll be honest. I like mine separate, but I know so many of you love a good mix. I just like mine separate. So we're going to use Madame Glam's Builder Gel, and I'm going to apply a nice little cuff on this nail. Just using a mixture of the crystals from the mix pack and the little ABs as well.
I'm somewhere in the middle, try to find myself again, but life is one big riddle of the future and what's been. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go. Look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me in the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff and trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm alone. I got it, I gotta go, 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 running to better times. Go, 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 from my emotions I'll go, 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 running to better times, to better times, to better times, to better times.
Okay, on to the next now, and I'm going to do a kind of little spirally kind of thing. I don't really know, I was just playing and having fun. Yeah, I'll let you watch. I think it's cute, but you know, it's not perfect, it's just cute.
That you took, but now it looks like acting, like we were fiction in a book. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go. Look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me in the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff and trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm alone. I got it, I gotta go, 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 running to better times. Go, 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 from my emotions I'll go, 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 running to better times, 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 to better times. I look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me, nothing can stop me in the night. Look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me in the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff. Go, 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 running to better times. Go, 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 from my emotions I'll go, 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 running to better times, 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 to better times.
Okay, I have a question for you guys. Those of you that are in the UK, this is something I've been thinking of doing, and I was starting before COVID hit, and then obviously, you know, not really had a chance, and I've been umming and ahhing over it because I don't really know if anyone would want it or not. But I was thinking of, obviously I've got all my accredited courses and things, and then my skill building courses, and they're all online. I'm wondering if people would like face-to-face, like group courses. I don't know if that would be a thing people would want. If enough people want it, I'll do it, and I'll go to different areas and do it, but it depends really, because it's just all up in the air. But I would love to be able to meet you guys and do some face-to-face teaching, because I think it's so much easier when you can actually sit with somebody and help them. So let me know in the comments if that's something you would be interested in, I guess. And yeah. Oh, I altered this design. That's the good thing, right, about using hard gel, is you can just mess about with it and move it around as you go. So that's what I did. Then it's time to shine with some top coat. So I didn't put any bling on the thumb, I just wanted to leave it as it was. Thought it looked quite cute. So we'll get that bling. Oh my god, honey, come on. Get that top coat on there. Lovely. Okay. And then we shall top coat the rest of the nails. Remember, don't put top coat on top of your crystals. It will make them look blimmin' weird. You don't need to. You just need to go around the base of them. And like I said, always make sure you've got fresh adhesive. They do have a shelf life once they're opened. And I know we think we can make these things last forever, but it will affect your crystals and tips if you use tips as well, that they'll break down quicker. So I have shown that. I didn't mean to. It just sort of happened. And it was my own error. And I thought, why did I not throw that bottle away? Yeah, I knew. And I don't even use adhesive hardly ever because I react to it. I was just being lazy. And I paid the price because not only did I get a sore nose and a headache, I also lost crystals and lost the end of my tip, which was highly annoying. So look, detail a brush, get in there, getting around all the nooks and crannies. Onto the marbly nail. Get a nice bit of top coat in there. Lovely. And then last but not least will be that beautiful pinky nail, and that will be the end of the video. So I really hope you've liked this design. Don't forget to let me know about group courses, and if so, what kind of things you might want to see or learn even. You know what I mean. Anyway, I'll see you really, really soon. Tally bye!